the national anthems. First up, the national anthem of Korea. Please remain standing for the national anthem of China.
All right, good evening, viewers. We are back again to the Women's Asian Champions Trophy right here at the SengKang Stadium in Singapore. We are just about to witness match number 8 of the competition between Korea and China. Both these teams are fighting to secure their spots for the final rounds. And China, who just lost yesterday to Japan, cannot afford to lose this game. they need to win it in order for them to have a good chance to qualify. And as you can see, the Koreans are also looking to continue their winning streak. Right now, they have played against Malaysia. They beat them 5-2, and they also beat, I beg your pardon, well, I'll bring you the updates in just a short while, but as the game it's just started, we will continue with the commentary for the game. My name is Gerard Denker, your commentator for this evening, and I have with me the technical and tactical input from a good friend of mine who is one of the national coaches here in Singapore. He goes by the name of Mr. Nordin Manaf. Welcome, Nordin, to the game.
Yes, thank you.
As you can see, the Koreans are in possession of the ball. Cho trying to get the ball out of her D. Nicely working the ball up on the right flank. A little bit too far for the Korean forward.
Hopefully today we can see a better end-to-end start by these two teams.
That's right, Nordin. China, who had to play, who was playing against, who played their game yesterday, had a very, very tough game, and unfortunately for them, they came away with a loss.
Hopefully they can improve their play and show the true colors.
That's
because
right.
they have not been playing
as well as they should be. As you remember, in their first game against Malaysia, they were down 1-0, but they had to claw their way back and eventually won the game 3-1. Then yesterday, they were up against Japan, and they were put under the same kind of pressure that Japan put Malaysia under in the earlier game this evening. But the Chinese were not able to come out of their game against Japan, and they eventually lost the game 2-0. And we saw Malaysia play Japan just now, and Malaysia, who worked really, really hard to secure their first win of the competition, and they came away with their win over Japan with a score of 2-0. And if the Chinese doesn't win this game today, there's a chance that they will be overtaken for the top 4 positions for this Saturday's third and fourth and finals. Korea working into the Chinese D. Ball to Korea, turned over. A very stern umpire telling the players to leave the ball alone after the whistle has been blown. Kiju off to Lee. Lee working the ball on the left flank. Finds Hyoju. Hyoju throws it back to Mirim. Mirim misses that push. Yuan Ming working the ball in, trying to look for an option. Try to lay off to her forward. A good attempt there by China to try and secure the first goal, but they get a long corner. A quick hit into the D. Jung Yun trying to work the ball out. Korea gets the ball away. The Korean number 13, Soo Ki, unfortunately wasn't able to stop that ball. Sun Chao, the team captain for China. Jung Yun. Hyunji. A stick check there from
Foot.
I beg your pardon, it was a foot on Hyunji.
Good pressing from China.
That's right, Wan Lee with a quick pass to the right. Chen Yang being overpowered there, but the ball goes back to China. Chen Yang on the ball. Takes on her players, but loses possession. Good tackle from China, number 2. Yunji. And lost control. Good pressure there from China. Quick counter attack. Good support there from the number 25. China in the Korean D, trying to look for a shot. A good flat tackle there by the Koreans, managing to smother the ball out of the D.
The Koreans making too many unforced error.
Yes, that's right. And I think if they keep this up, then they're going to find themselves one goal behind. The Chinese obviously know that they have to win this game after losing to Japan yesterday. So we're going to see some very hard action from the Chinese players. Yunji to Lee on the left defense. Does well to get the ball into the D, but there was a dangerous ball there by the Korean forward, and China on the offensive. A good ball there to the Chinese number 18. Danyang trying to work her way through. Being asked to pull back the ball by the umpire. It comes off the foot of the Korean player. A hard cross, well anticipated there by the Korean defense. Mirim trying to look for an option. Finds one in Urim. Yunji works the ball out to the side, and there you can see a series of passes by the right back and the right midfielder. It seems so far that China seems to have a little bit more of the action in the D of the Koreans, but unfortunately nothing so far. China with the ball. A good trap there by Urim. Wenyu. Good running by the Chinese forwards. Korean goalkeeper Bae Sura forced to come into action to clear the ball. Yunji.
Yes, much better play from the Chinese forwards.
That's right.
Especially their one touch.
I think they, when they played against Japan, the game that they lost 2-0, they were not given that much chance to really come forward.
Yes.
And so they were sitting back, just trying to keep the Japanese at bay. But this game is a bit more open, as you can see. It's a lot more opportunities to run forward, a lot more opportunities to try and shoot at goal.
Yes, you're right. Probably today's match is more even if you compare like yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, the Japanese has more possession,
That's true.
and the China team allow them to control the game.
Jung Yun. Back to Yunji. Lee. Hard line ball. It went off the sideline, unfortunately. Wenyu looking for options. Finds one in Chen Yang. Chen Yang trying to send the ball in, gets blocked off, but it's still China. Good work there from the Korean defense on Chin Rong. Sun Chao for China. A good block there from Sun Chao. Lee Hong trying to work her way through, but she got blocked down by the Korean defense. Korea on the offensive now. Xiao Yong trying to find options, but unfortunate for her, she was closed down very quickly by the Chinese players. Wen Yu. Wan Li trying to find Wen Yu, but failed to do so. China's ball. Ming Ling. Trying to look for options, but took a bit too long.
That was a good
Yun
turn.
Kyung trying to find space, working the ball into the D. Nobody there. The ball hits a foot. Goes out by gets thrown out by the Chinese player. Mirim. Yunji.
I think you are right saying that the Chinese team playing better today
Yeah.
due to have more opportunity coming up forward.
Right. Wan Li losing the ball, giving it back to Korea. Mirim with a good throw into the Chinese D, but unfortunately no one on the other end to meet the ball. The score still stands at 0-0 for both Korea and China, and we are into the match 8 of the Women's Asian Champions Trophy at the SengKang Stadium in Singapore. We are just about to another 3 minutes more of the first quarter to play out. Guo Chiu trying her best to get to the ball. There was Yusol who tried to stop the ball, but there was a dangerous situation. Wen Yu. Wan Li. Good work there by Wan Li. Looking for Li Hong.
That was calmly done by the defender,
That's right.
getting the ball out of the D.
Good block there by Shan Chao. Good drag, good work there. Shan Chao. Xijia. Foul by Yusol from Korea. Xijia on the ball. To Shan Chao. Hard work there by the Chinese players. Well defended by the Koreans. Yusol Beck couldn't control that ball. Good tackle. Well done by China. Tia Chi looking for option. Xijia. Quick series of passes. Well, that ball should have gone to the left. There was a free Chinese player there. Good control by the Chinese number 6, Li Tia.
Yes, but can you see how the Chinese pressure the Korean defense, keeping the ball in their 25?
That's right. Xijia. Looks for Yuan Ming. Park Mirim. Yunji. Hyoju working the ball on the left of the field, trying to get into the Chinese D. Draws the goalkeeper out, but unfortunately, no Koreans there to press down on that ball. A slight. And there we have the hooter for the first quarter. That's right, Korea and China still 0-0. Both teams are right now. Both teams are now going out for a few minutes for a quick water break, as well as for some coaching tips from their coaches. Perhaps maybe a change of strategy, tactical. So Nordin, what is your take of the first quarter so far?
I think first quarter is this China team is slightly playing better.
Yeah.
Maybe the Korean not settled down yet, but it's the Chinese dominating the game.
Right.
And I think because they pass and they run to position, they pass. That means they're playing as a unit.
That's right.
You know, instead of just going 1v1.
Right.
So really catches the Korean defense flat-footed.
That's right, and you can see that the game is actually, the pace of the game is really fantastic. I mean, both teams are just running and running and running. That's the thing about teams like Korea, China, and Japan. The skill level, the dribbling skills level may not be as high as perhaps maybe the Malaysians or the Indians, but they dominate games simply because of just keeping to the basics.
And they do it at the top speed.
That's right, you know, trapping the ball and running into space, offering for options, and just working on set pieces and just running off the ball. There's a lot of running off the ball, and at the same time, even in tight situations, you don't get to see a very large display of skills.
Yeah.
You know, they protect the ball, wait for options, and then when the options arrive, they just lay the ball off. That's basically what many of the teams like China, Japan, even Korea, tend to do. But they do it very well, and that's one of the reasons why they are such great powerhouses of field hockey. You don't specifically need to have skill in terms of being the best. You can be the best with good tactical knowledge, fitness, strength, as well as set pieces, which is what both these teams have been drilled to do.
And they are able to do at a top speed, so that is the key. Like Malaysian, their skills are very good, but
Yes.
I think they are one step down. That's why I think they was finding it difficult to
Manage the pace.
Yes.
Right. And we've just had the umpire's decision for the first penalty corner for Korea. They've done very well to work the ball from the left flank of the field and switching it off to the right side and working the ball into the Chinese D. And now we see Korea getting ready for their first penalty corner. Koreans are trying to decide what set piece to use. Good push out. Nice low drag flick.
Oh, unfortunate.
Do you want to explain what that green card was for, Nordin?
I think because she played the ball after the whistle to not to let the Chinese team to start an early start.
I see, to start up the game.
Because the ball hit probably her foot or something for the infringement.
Right. So it was more like a delay tactic.
Yes.
Dan Yang trying to get to the ball.
Sometimes after a free hit, you are not allowed to touch the ball.
Right.
Yeah, more than you push the ball away. Yeah, so that's what happened, I guess.
Good ball there to the Chinese number 10, Chen Yang, but unfortunately it was a little bit too far. Sitia trying to sweep the ball to Chen Yang on the right hand side here. We got Cha on the ball. Well trapped by Cao Yu. Jung Yun trying to switch across to Park Ki-ju, but it was a bit too far for her, and the ball goes out and it's turned over to China. Lee Hong. Trying to get out of that tight corner over there. Lee Hong still can't get out of the corner. The Koreans are defending very well. Yuan Ming working the ball through. The ball goes, it's turned over to Korea with Yoonji. Cha looking for an option. A good effort from Cha to try to work the ball from left side all the way across the field and losing it in the middle of the field. Yuan Ming, good skill from her. And the ball hits Eugene. Well defended by the Koreans. A bit too much to the left, and the ball.
I just wanted to say nice work for getting the ball out of the corner.
Xitia off to the left side of the field. Litia under pressure. Litia, nice hard hit. A bit too quick for Lee Hong, who tried to make an attempt to run across to the sideline to pick up that ball. Yoonji under pressure. Throws the ball out for safety. China. Good hit there to the number 4. Xitia. Oh, the Chinese players are all up except for one. Let's hope that they are able to keep possession, because a quick counter attack will be a tough thing for them to try and slow down. Good work there, Yusol. Cha. Yoonji. Yusol. Yoonji, good pass there from Yoonji. And the ball comes off the Korean player. Good work from Che. Unfortunate there for Korea. Sanchoa gets the ball back for China. Well, the Koreans have managed to get the ball into the Chinese D, trying to look for a way, a shot at goal, maybe even a penalty corner. But then the ball comes out for China. China on a quick counter attack. China on offensive. Guo Chiu, hard hit into the Korean D. It was blocked very nicely there. Cha, a reverse hit, trying to get the ball out. Chen Yang. The other ball is rolling off the field, so there are two hockey balls on the field right now. Chen Yang to take the free hit again. He's taking the hit in from the side. Good quick series of passes there. Good attempt there by China's Guo Tiu, who had to lunge forward to the ground to try and strike the ball and throw it into the goal. A little bit too high and off target actually, but it was a good attempt nonetheless.
Yeah, she was the first one to react on the loose ball.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yunji. Haijin. Good transfer all the way to the right side of the field. Looking for Hyunji. Turnover to China. Chia trying to get past the marker. Korea gets the ball. Quick attack there from Korea. Yonok tried to send the ball into the Chinese D, but it was blocked out by Sang Ching. A good interception there from China. Difficult ball there, but well stopped by Chao Yu. Xia. Shan Chuo. Xia once again. A frustrated Tia Chi, who was pushed from the back by the Korean defender. There's a free hit for China now. Wen Yu finds Shan Chuo. Cross, didn't connect well. And Korea is coming out with Xiao Yong. Good pass there by Wen Yu.
Slight poor technique. When
Right.
she wanted to beat the defenders, probably she should go further, go around.
Right.
Yeah. If
Instead of staying too close.
Yeah, they are too good with the flat stick tackle.
Xia Chi.
That was a
Oh,
good
well
pass.
deflected there to the number 5. Chao Yu making an effort to get to the ball, and she does well to get it. Shot at goal. Oh, unfortunate there for Chen Yang. Well, she had a back to the goal. She had to estimate where the goalpost was. But good shot at goal, but unfortunately it was pretty far off.
I like her play because she purposely let the ball out of the sideline and the 25, and
Right.
she stopped and she played and forcing the Korean to tackle her, and she will get a short corner.
Right.
Yeah, luckily that the defender didn't commit.
Yi Dan. Stopped there by the Korean defender, number 4. Jong Yun looking for Yusol. Yusol working the ball into the D. Well defended by the Chinese defenders. San Chuo managing to get her stick in the way to knock the ball out for a corner to Korea. Korea's free hit. Send the ball back. Yunji does well, looks for Lee on the left defense. Ouch. Unfortunate there for Lee Hong. The ball hits her in the body. The umpire says no. Zainuddin Ayu, the umpire from Malaysia, says no, foul to Korea.
I think it was a deflection
By their own player, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Jung Yun looking for Yusol. Yusol trying to turn, trying to get the chance to push the ball into the Chinese D. China does well to defend that attack, and now the ball goes back to China with Chang Ying on the ball. China on the offensive, now they have a chance to score. Alright, they're out now. Koreans are outnumbered 3-2. Across, well cut off there. No, the ball is still in play. Oh, and that's the goal for China. Fantastic effort, determination from these Chinese forwards to make sure that the ball gets into the goal. As you saw, the Korean goalkeeper Bae So-ra was caught on the floor, on the ground, and the ball got stuck under her pads, I believe, and it didn't go out. And so the Chinese decided that that they were going to put more pressure, and they were able to secure that goal. We're going to wait for the confirmation as to who was the goal scorer in that situation. But as it stands, China is leading by 1-0.
Yes, the Koreans were caught 3-2 against the Chinese. So it was like an advantage for them.
That's right. And there you heard it, Chang Jinrong from China, player number 29, who managed successfully to flick the ball into the goal, the ball hitting the side post and then knocking it straight into the goal for the first goal of the game between China and Korea. China leads by 1-0.
Sometimes when a player gets a card, especially a green card, and I don't think they are supposed to stop the time. But
right.
If she delays, it can be a yellow card.
I see.
That means she has to, when the whistle blown, she's supposed to go automatically to the side. Yeah, if she stay on the pitch and delay,
it gets like upgraded.
Yeah.
Zhang Xing. A nice long ball there from Sitia.
Yeah, that was a good move by the forwards. She came in front to receive the ball.
That's right. And that's the hooter for the end of the second quarter, which is the halftime now. And both the teams are going to go out for a 10-minute break. At halftime, we have China leading by a score of 1-0. The Koreans will have to come back and try and get back into this game. The Koreans have been doing fairly well so far in the competition, but at the same time, they cannot afford to go away with a loss of this game, because it may affect their position later on in the competition. But at this point in time, China, all right, it's China, player number 29, who is Chang Jinrong, who scored a field goal. The Chinese overpowering the Koreans with an outnumbered 3-2, and the Chinese were able to capitalize on the defensive error, allowing the Koreans to pedal back, trying to get the ball out unsuccessfully, the Chinese pressure, the ball ends up in the net from the stick of the player number 29. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's half time. So Nordin and I will just take a quick break and we'll be back for the second half commentary. Thank you. Cao Yu, surrounded by two Japanese players, trying to get the ball, and she loses the ball. What a dangerous place to lose the ball. It's an offensive, number 9, Japan, and it's a goal from the Japanese, number 9, Nagai Hazuki.
I guess the goal was coming.
Yes, and it was a costly error. All right, Nishimura getting ready to inject. As you can see, the Japanese battery shifting to the right. Quick shot there, well saved first time, but not the second, as we have the Chinese goalkeeper Yu Yaran on the ground smothering the first shot, but on the rebound she couldn't do anything to stop the ball from going into the goal to give Japan their second goal of the game.
Participate in a competition in Malaysia in a week or so. So come on, let's do our part to help them out. You don't get to give the money for fun. You get a bottle of water for the dollar that you put in there, right? So come on, girls, bring the bottles, go around, talk to the people, Singaporeans, other nationalities. You're all very nice people. I'm sure that you guys will be able to afford $1 of water. If you scream and shout during the game, you're going to get very thirsty. So scream and shout more, get more thirsty, buy more water, send these girls up to Malaysia. Thank you very much. Do I have a choice? I made an announcement for you.
viewers, welcome back to the second half of the game between Korea and China. This is match number 8 of the Women's Asian Champions Trophy right here at the SengKang Stadium. As you can see, we have Korea on the offensive right now in white from left to right on your screen. At this point in time, China is leading the game by 1-0. And it was a very well-worked counter-attack from China, overpowering the 2 defenders with 3 Chinese attackers, and eventually the ball finding its place in the net. China on the ball. Yuan Ming. Sitia. Quick pass there.
Looks like the Japanese team is stepping up the game this quarter, yes.
The Korean team, you mean?
Korean team, I mean.
Oh, good shot, a good cross there from Baek Yuseol across the goal of the Chinese team. But unfortunately, the ball went across. But then they've earned themselves a penalty corner. Well, Baek Yuseol had acres of space, but unfortunately she was unable to convert it. But nonetheless, the ball came off a Chinese player, and now we have a situation here where it is a penalty corner for the Koreans.
The Korean is pushing everyone, almost everyone, just left one player.
Well, there must be a set piece that they've worked out. Can they get a goal? The ball's been smothered. The ball has been smothered by the Chinese goalkeeper, who did well to keep her body down so that the ball doesn't slip under her arm. And there you can see the Korean coach on the substitute bench shouting out the set piece to tell the girls what to do. And Nodin is right, there's only one Korean defender at the back. Well, you can't see it in your screen right now, but the rest of the Korean team has surrounded the D, making it very, very difficult for the Chinese defense. And here we go. Poor stop there. And now a quick counter attack, and China once again has outnumbered. Oh. And he fails to control the ball, unfortunately for Guo Qiu, who tried very hard to control the ball, but the ball just slipped away from her.
It was a
In any case,
wasted golden opportunity.
Good attempt there by China's Yuan Ming, but she mishit the ball. Well, the Koreans took a very, very big risk, but I believe it's something that they've worked out very well to get back quick enough.
And you see how they use the advantage of the sliding tackle or tap the ball in.
Right.
Because used to not allow.
Yes.
And then now they are using it very nicely.
Yunji, reverse hit. Nobody to pass to. I think the Koreans are a little bit disorganized at this point. They're trying to get themselves to settle down. The Chinese are back in the D. Counter attack. And we've got Baek Yuseol. Long ball down the sideline, but cut off there very, very nicely by the Chinese number 2, Sitia. Good attempt there, but no one touching the ball at the back. Well, I believe, Nodin, when it comes to a set piece like that, where you have 9 of your players up front,
You have to score.
Yes, you have to score. But
score.
I also think they've decided that with the Chinese team, it's okay to do it. But if it were maybe Japan, they may not have taken that chance.
Maybe.
You know,
Yeah.
because the Japanese counter-attack is so fast.
Correct.
You never know. You even maybe with the Indians, you know,
Yeah.
they may not try something like that.
I agree with you. Just that maybe they need to put extra pressure because they are down by 1.
That's right. Yeah, and you have 9 players around the semicircle, but you only got 5 players defending. So you know.
But
it's
I won't do it because the time because of the time we still have a lot of
Yes.
time. Yeah, so we don't have to panic so early. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. What happened if they had scored that goal? Then it's like, you know, game almost over.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I suppose something like that you probably do maybe when you're down and maybe you have another less than 5 minutes left or
Yes.
something maybe. Yeah. Korea on the offensive.
And maybe if you know your shot penalty corner conversion is like, you know, almost 100%, then okay.
Right. Mirim for Korea. Good work there from Taijin. There was a foot. The umpire didn't pick it up, unfortunately.
I thought it would be a card also because she did it on purpose.
I see.
Yeah, she just put her legs. But she
blocked
knows
the ball.
it. Yeah.
Su Chao.
Good pressure.
There's good effort there from the Chinese forward Jin Rong. But she was pressed down very, very well by Park Hee-ju. Korea trying to work the ball out to the left side of the field, but Yurim failed to control that ball. Chen Yang. Good work there, good skill. No foul, says the umpire.
I think she got it wrong.
Well,
I think one of the defenders
hooked her.
hooked her
Looked like
legs.
it.
Yeah.
Well, in the earlier situation in the Korean D, the number 29 from China, Jin Rong, looked like she was being pulled back by one of the Korean defenders, but the umpire decided that she actually slipped. Poor control there from Jung Yun, turning the ball over to China. Wen Yu. Good work there for Chen Yang. Good series of passes there from China. Cross into the D. Oh, but nobody there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Li Hong, who was the closest to the ball, she couldn't reach it in time.
And the forwards are standing in one line.
That's right.
Yeah. So if one miss, you know,
Chances are the second will miss and the third will miss as
yeah.
well.
At least if they can stagger, you know, one
Right.
deep and one higher.
But do you think, Nore, in situations like that, sometimes forwards tend to ball watch and they
Yes.
don't realize that they're actually standing in a straight line?
Correct. That's why the last one, because she has the view of everyone,
Yes.
she would control. If she sees that someone is in front, then maybe she hold back.
Right.
She's the one that can see everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good work from the Chinese. Just about the halfway mark of the third quarter of the game between Korea and China. As you can see on your screen, China is leading by 1-0. Ball turned over to Korea.
Good pressure.
A nice long overhead. Good work there from the Chinese defenders. Very quick to get the ball out. Sitsia sending a long ball up to her forward with Yunji fumbling in the middle there. Now it's a free hit for China. Very quickly taken. Got Li Hong sending the ball across. Good work there. Stepping forward away from the defender to get to the ball. Wan Li on the ball. Good shot at goal. Fantastic work from China. Good skill there from Wan Li. She didn't have that much space. She didn't have her. She wasn't facing the goal. She had her back facing the goal, but still she was able to turn around and get that hit straight into the Korean goal.
What a goal!
That seems to me like the goal of the tournament, if you ask me.
Yep, yeah.
But I think it was player number 29 who scored the goal.
I think it's just more to a killer instinct. She didn't even look at the goalpost.
That's right. That's right. It's player number 29 again for China. A fantastic field goal to give China a 2-0 advantage. Excellent stuff from China.
Even from the previous game and this game earlier, I noticed that she has really a very good reaction. Yeah, reaction. Yeah, she will always get the ball first.
And China on the offensive again. Cross, good attempt to deflect the ball into the goal. China seems to be on the offensive now. The Koreans are backpedaling, trying to figure out what to do, how to get past this Chinese defense. Well, you can't get past with that sort of thing. Go to quick transfer to the right.
Good
Sitia.
play.
Tiati looking for an option. Stick check over there. Ball goes back to Korea. Unfortunately there for Tiati, who failed to control that ball. The ball's turned over to Korea now. Koreans seem to be running out of ideas. Not really sure what to do and how to get past. An excellent sweep across the field here to Hyoju. A miss hit there. Neon trying to get into the ball. Okay, we have a counter. Fantastic skill there from the Chinese forward. Lee Hong. Well saved by the Korean goalkeeper Meng Ling, who took that shot at goal. Excellent shot at goal on the reverse.
It wasn't a easy shot to take.
That's right. She managed to get a good hard hit in there, but just unfortunate that it was direct to the keeper. It made it easy for her to save the ball. But excellent skill from Meng Ling, getting past a marker earlier.
Yep.
You saw? Yusio looking for an option. A good press there from the Chinese number 3, Shan Chuo. But the free goes to Korea. Well done from Lee Hong. Stealing the ball away.
Well read. She read the pass.
Yeah. Korea looking for options. Disagreement there from the Chinese defender, who says that the ball didn't hit a foot. Korea. Another free hit there because the ball hits the foot of the Chinese defender. Well cut off there by Sitia. Sitia trying to look for a way out. Finds it. No, she doesn't. Yes, she does. Determination. And Lee Hong. This girl has long legs. Good strides. Unfortunately, she taps the ball a little bit too far away. Whistle being blown. Someone's going to get a yellow. Yes, we see the Korean number 4 Seo Jung-yoon being sent off for an earlier infringement by the umpire Zainuddin Ayu from Malaysia. So Korea's down to 10.
I don't see much movement from the Korean forwards. They need to work hard. They need to really
and it's
create the
making too
space,
many unforced errors like that.
Yes, exactly.
And now it's a counter attack. Lee Hong, who put herself in the right position, just waiting, knowing that her teammate is going to pass her the ball. But unfortunately, she didn't connect well. Otherwise, it would have been number 3 for China. And there you have a good turn there from the Korean. Kyung trying to work away in the D. She's in the D, trying to get something.
Nicely done.
And Korea has earned themselves a penalty corner. And I'm sure we'll see the same number of players, maybe more.
They can't because one is outside.
Yeah. So although the hooter is gone for the end of the third quarter, the umpire's whistle for the penalty corner came in first. So that means the penalty corner will continue even though we've heard the hooter for the third quarter to finish. So we have the Korean team, with the exception of their goalkeeper, the entire Korean team.
To end the game, the Chinese player need to clear the ball out of the dotted line.
Oh, unfortunate there. Well, the Koreans seem to be a little bit unsettled.
Yes.
Yeah, they're making a lot of unnecessary errors. And I think it's difficult, especially after having tough matches to play in the last few days. Maybe the signs of their fatigue is starting to show.
Yeah.
And that could be one of the reasons why we also saw a fairly lackluster team in Japan earlier
Malaysia.
against Malaysia.
Yeah.
And the Japanese also was a very hard running team, seem to have been trying their best to actually finish up the game quickly by scoring early, but unsuccessful in many occasions to try and score. Eventually the Malaysians successfully defended well and eventually got their 2-goal win. So that's good for them. But I can see that I mentioned earlier about these teams that they may not have that much skills in terms of, if you compare to say the Indians, in terms of the way they dribble the ball. But the hard running is one of the most difficult things to keep up, especially if you have games, two games in a row, 3 games in a row. The recovery is much slower. I feel, and it's harder. As you can see, that signs of fatigue are slowly showing. And hopefully, that tomorrow is a rest day for all the teams. So hopefully, we'll see, the teams recover faster, and maybe in the next couple of games after the rest day, perhaps the teams will come back with a little bit more determination and recharge and everything.
Yeah, you're right. I think the Koreans are not playing well than maybe the first game and second game.
Right.
And that's why some teams actually requested to have more players in the squad, so that the rotation. Now they allow 18 per tournament, 16 per game. So based on that, also the recovery, there's no rest time for to rest some players.
Correct. And that's one situation. And of course, if you have injuries in your team, that makes it even harder.
Yeah.
Well, we are into the last quarter of this game between Korea and China, and right now China is leading by 2-0. 2 fantastic goals from their player 29, Chang Jin-rong. A real fantastic hit from the top of the D. Her second goal, it was a real blaster, and of course the Korean goalkeeper could not do anything to stop that ball. A good attempt there. but unfortunately wasn't read very well by the Chinese number 12. A good touch into the D. Yusol trying to look for a chance to shoot. She can't get a stick off the ground.
She couldn't create the chance, shooting chance.
Yes. Yeah. I look at the Korean number 23, Baek Yusol. She's got the size and the build, but she seems to be a little bit slower.
Slower, yes.
She doesn't have the same kind of speed like many of the other players. Perhaps maybe she's also one of the younger players, and that could be the inexperience.
Yes. Sometimes in terms of speed, sometimes we don't need the one that can run 50 kilometers, 50 kilometers like per hour or something.
Right.
Just the 5-step burst.
Right.
For hockey, I think most of the time it's like
that's the more important, the short burst.
Short burst.
Korea on the ball, trying hard to get back into this game. Hee-ju losing possession of the ball on the right side of the field. Ball turned over to China, Cao Yu. Good cross sweep there, trying to look for Chen Yang. Oh, poor pass there from the Korean defender. A good shot there from China. Dan Yang, who tried to get a reverse hit into the shot. Unfortunately for her, it was too high. But that shot at goal was a result of errors from the Korean defense. They have to stop making these unnecessary errors, otherwise they're going to find themselves another goal behind. Hee-ju. Yoonji. Good work there to find Hyo-ju. Hyo-ju looking for options. Everywhere she goes, she's seeing a red color. She can't seem to find her own teammates. And China, once again, on the offensive. I think the Koreans are struggling to keep up with the game.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes teams like this, maybe they're not the first choice players.
Right.
They come for this kind of tournament. It's opportunity for them to prove to the main coach or the head coach, so
they can step up to the
first
next level. Yes. Well, there are a couple of players who've been doing a good job so far for the Korean team. We've got player number 7, Yoon-ju, who just took that hit, and she is playing as a central defender, and she's doing a good job there. Good work there from Cao Yu. Good control there from the Chinese number 11, Yuan Ming. Telling the players to settle down. Well done.
Good ball.
Good ball to the right side of the field. Got Dan Yang.
And good movement of
Chen
the ball
Yang.
too.
Good work there from China. Good cross. And the Chinese players are appealing that the ball hit the foot of the defender. I'm not quite sure what the umpires saw, but the free hit was awarded to the Koreans instead. Chen Yang. Sitia. Sitia is the other player that I sort of caught my eye with steady passes and good vision from the left side of the field. The players are beginning to tire out. As you can see, the Korean players are slowly but surely moving a little slower than they did in the earlier parts of the game. Nonetheless, they are trying to get back into the game. They're making a lot of unforced errors. And there you have another error there from Jung Yoon. China, ball turned over to them. Zhang Ying. Chao Yu. Well cut off there, but the ball rolls out the sideline. Eugene tried to keep the ball in, but unfortunately she couldn't. Wan Lee. Oh, and there was a hook of the... I think it was accidental, but in any case, the umpires decided that she has to go. A green card for Hong Yoo-jin. So she sits out for 2 minutes. Good pass there, but I think there was a misunderstanding between the two Chinese forwards, Ming Ling and Jin Rong. Some of these movements have been worked out during their trainings, I believe, and that's one of the reasons why they don't always look to the place that they're going to pass. They expect their teammate to be present there. And sometimes the miscommunication takes place because they just didn't expect that that was the point that the player had to be at that particular part of the field.
Yeah, sometimes they do a stick signal show that they want to you want the ball on the right, but they maybe like they will run to the left first.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, good reach there from Lee Hong. He's gonna go on a reverse. A good shot across the goal. This girl Lee Hong, very impressive. She's got speed, she's got talent, she's got skill.
And she's young.
Yeah. So you're gonna see a couple of years of this girl Lee Hong, I'm sure, featuring in the women's national team in years to come. Korea on the offensive. Xiao Yong trying to find a way into the Chinese D. Quick reverse hit. Well closed down there by the Chinese number 4, Zhang Ying. They're not giving Hyunji any opportunity at all to touch the ball. Chen Yang. Oh,
sometimes nowadays the players rather to have a reverse shot than a forehand shot,
right?
Because it's difficult to predict
where the ball's going to go.
Yes, especially when you take shot at goal.
Yes,
it's very difficult for the goalkeeper.
And it's also a bit, to some extent, it's because it's so unpredictable. You're not sure if it's going to rise.
Yes.
You're not sure if it's going to hit you.
Yes. Because the contact is at the edge of the stick is harder.
That's right. And a slight tilt of the stick, then the ball will end up rising.
Yeah.
China still pressing to try and get another goal, keeping the Koreans back in their half. But Korea has no choice; they have to come up because they're down with they're down 2 goals already. I think the Koreans are finding it difficult to string a series of passes. Before, in the earlier part of the game, they were able to string a few passes, but somehow now they just can't seem to be. They can't seem to pick themselves up.
Yeah, I think rely on the confidence. They need to be, stay calm and.
Dan Yang. Once again, the Chinese have outnumbered the Koreans, and a shot coming in a bit too high. Hard luck there for China's number 7, Guo Qiu. She had acres of space. She had a lot of time to make a decision. But I think the goalkeeper was all up and ready for that shot to come in. In any case, the ball went out. And there you see another error with Chen Rong pressing down on the Korean player. Good cut off there from Chan Shuo.
Just looking at the aerial ball, we used to scoop the ball.
That's right.
So that we can be there on time. The receiver be there on time. Nowadays they will drag, flick the ball
as fast as possible. Korea on the offensive, cut off there very nicely from Cao Yu. Trying to find Jin Rong. Good work from the Chinese. In possession, good skill. Unfortunately, Dan Yang couldn't beat the second player. Hai Jin. Good spin. Hai Jin. Lost the balance there. Yun Kyong does well, wins the ball back, and it's a penalty corner. The umpire is saying that Sitia elbowed the opponent off the field, and that's why the penalty corner was awarded. Although the Chinese players disagree, the umpire was right there and she saw everything, and I'm sure she was very clear that it was the decision is a penalty corner. So we have the Koreans here once again. This time they've left 2 defenders behind. Well, let's hope they can get the set piece right, because they have about 2.5 minutes, which is actually enough time to get an equalizer.
Yep.
But they have to put one in first. Can they do it? And the ball goes straight into the runner, the Chinese runner, who's now lying on the ground, as you can see. I think she got caught right in the knee. It's not exactly the best kind of injury to have, because you sort of feel a certain numbness, and then your knee just becomes softer.
Yes.
We've all had this, playing this. Okay, that's Xiao Yu, who's down. And then you can see the physiotherapist looking for the spray to try and see how he can relieve a little bit of the pain.
Yeah, miracle water.
Yes. And the umpire, as you can see, Zainuddin Ayu from Malaysia is calling for the stretcher, because she can't continue anymore. Well, don't wait for the stretcher. Do it the Chinese way. Well, that is the fastest way to get a player off the field, actually. But in any case, she'll be treated offline, sideline by her physiotherapist. The game continues, and the Chinese cannot replace the player at this point in time. Am I right, Nordin?
Yes.
They have to wait till after the penalty corner is completed.
Completed, yes.
I don't think that set piece worked very well. In any case, it didn't. We have another Chinese player on the ground.
Cramps.
Looks like there's cramps.
But I thought the second hitter had some time to take a shot.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't any second runner for the Chinese team.
That's right.
I thought she should just, probably it's a set play. She's just following the steps.
Yeah, but the Korean player actually was running with the ball, or letting, which is quite unusual for a penalty corner.
Yeah.
Seemed to me like something went wrong during the set piece. Well, the game continues with China. A little more than 2 minutes left of the game. China's leading by 2-0. 2 goals courtesy of Chang Jin-rong, player number 29. Well, the Koreans have to push everybody up. And this is where it gets dangerous, because if the Chinese does a quick attack, the Koreans are all going to be caught out of position. Yuan Ming. Yuan Ming. San Chuo, long ball, cut off there by Hu Ju. Yun Ji trying to look for options. Good pass there. Well done by Baek Yu Seol. Being closed down, using her strength.
Can you see the problem with her skill? Because as soon as she collected the ball,
Right.
she didn't look up, because there was two options.
Right.
Two options to pass to. She don't have to run all the way. She could just pass
Make
the
the
ball.
pass
Yes.
and then run into an option to receive. Yuan Ming holding on to the ball. China less than 1 minute to claim a victory over the Koreans. Xia. Good hard hit there. China, Jin Rong. Good skill from Jin Rong. Wen Yu. China just playing out the time, as you can see, moving the ball. The Koreans have to come and chase for the ball if you want to get it back. Yunji. Oh, no. Fortunate tackle there on Chin Rong. And there we go, the end of the game after the fourth quarter. We have China coming up with a win in this game against Korea, winning the game by 2-0. The Koreans seem to be a little bit lackluster today, running out of ideas, and at the same time seem to be a little bit lethargic compared to their earlier games. But then again, they've already had 3 games, so it's quite obvious, that they need to find a bit of time to rest, and perhaps maybe they'll come back a bit stronger with the next game. But in any case, kudos to China for winning the game 2-0. 2 fantastic goals from their forward number 29, Chang Jin-rong. The second goal especially, which is a solid hit from the top of the D into the roof of the Korean goal, giving Bae Sura no chance at all to try and stop it. Fantastic goal. I think so far that's the goal of the tournament for me. Well, Nordin, any thoughts from you?
Yes, I think you're right. The goal was fantastic, and what a individual brilliance from her to not even like knowing where's the goalpost. Not looking at the goalpost,
Right.
and take that shot facing her own goal. Yeah, so
Right.
that is was a good goal. But I think the China team deserved to win today.
That's
because
right.
They played well. They played better.
Yeah, I agree with you.
More organized.
Yeah.
Korean a bit disappointed
Yeah.
with their performance.
Yes, I believe so. Well, at this point, viewers, we are going to say good night. Thank you so much for joining us for today's games. As I said earlier, tomorrow is a rest day, but do join us again on Friday, 4th of November, where we will see Japan take on Korea, China taking on India. Now, all these teams will have to win. As you know, Japan lost to Malaysia today, and Korea lost to China, so either one of these teams have to try and win their game, just so that they don't lose any more points. And of course, China and India. India has been doing well so far in their competition. They haven't lost any games yet. But at the same time, they will want to continue this winning streak. And we have the Chinese team who is making us a good win, had a good win today. I'm sure they will want to try and overcome the mighty Indians. It's from me, Gerard Denker from Singapore. We'll say good night to all of you from Singapore, the Women's Asian Champions Trophy at the SengKang Stadium. Do join us once again, don't forget, on Friday. Alright, Friday 4th of November. The first game is at 5 o'clock and the second one is at 7. And I'd like to thank my co-host, Mr. Nordin Manaf, for his valuable technical and tactical input. And he'll be back again on Friday to give us more. In the meantime, have a good rest, everybody, and we will see you on Friday. Good night.